home to this Lord.
Welcome everyone. My name is Michael Tome. I live with my wife and 2 children in Compas, which is part of Senate District 13. I am a small business owner, a homeowner, a taxpayer, and a citizen who up until recently was not very politically active. I was born and raised in Wisconsin. My father's family roots are in Houstonsport, which would be Scott Fitzgerald's adopted hometown. After witnessing my senator continually hack away at our democracy on what seemed to be a daily basis, I strongly felt that his recall was needed. Not only because of his failure to represent people like me, but for his willingness to play national politics instead of serving the needs of his own district and state. He did this by passing damaging legislation without respect for our state's processes and procedures. Lori Compas was the person who displayed the courage needed to single-handedly launch this daunting task from her kitchen table. She began with limited resources and no support from any organization or political party because they didn't think it could be done. Her effort to obtain the needed 16,742 signatures ultimately resulted in bringing together an unprecedented grassroots movement that would transcend partisan politics. Democrats, independents, disaffected Republicans, and many people who had not been politically active in the past worked together toward this common goal. Although this was thought to be an impossible task, leading by example, with integrity, Lori used her voice and turned one signature into more than 20,000. Call it what you want. I call that leadership. She inspired us, she led us, and we trusted her. Although her original intent may have been to turn in the signatures and simply step aside, it became quite apparent to anyone who spent time around Lori that she consistently demonstrated the actions of an emerging leader. And once again, she has stepped up. Lori's natural leadership skills and her desire to listen to others will ensure that citizens in our district will finally have a voice. I am deeply honored to have the opportunity to introduce to the people of Senate District 13 our new voice in the Senate, Lori Compas.
I am overwhelmed by everyone's presence here. Last night we were kind of setting up chairs and thinking, well, 20? 30? So I'm overwhelmed. It's great to see so many of you here. My name is Lori Compas. I live in Port Atkinson, and today I'm announcing my candidacy for the state Senate seat. And before we get rolling here, first I'd like to introduce you to my husband, Eric. I'm so grateful for their love and support and their willingness to eat frozen pizzas. I would also like to thank thank Steve Lewis and the Jefferson Area Business Center for allowing us to gather here today. This center is part of a statewide network of business incubators called the Wisconsin Business Incubation Association, which fosters local job creation by encouraging small businesses and entrepreneurship. The 40-some centers around the state vary in their offerings, from commercial kitchens that allow farmers and gardeners to package and market their own products, to light manufacturing and retail space. The centers provide affordable workspace, shared staff, and business support services like marketing and financing. We're assembled in the only such center in the 13th Senate District. I look forward to discovering ways to support and encourage the creation of more such centers around the district and throughout the state. I have to admit, it's strange to find myself standing here in front of all of you. I'm not a politician, and while I've worked in our community as a volunteer for years in various capacities, I freely admit that up until last year, I didn't pay much attention to state politics. I didn't understand the importance it plays in our lives. My life revolved around my family, our home, and my small business. Now, running for such a prominent office might seem like an unusual step for a political newcomer, but actually it isn't unheard of. In fact, Scott Fitzgerald, the incumbent who has held this seat for the past 17 years, never held public office before running for this same seat. His success in the Senate has proven that it's possible for a novice to learn on the job and serve honorably for many years. And while we respect Scott Fitzgerald's long career as a politician, all of us up here today, I hope I can speak for everyone, I didn't realize there would be so many. All of us up here today agree that something changed in him over the past year. Throughout the district, regardless of our particular views on the policies Scott Fitzgerald has enacted, I think we can all agree that the process he has followed has been divisive, unethical, and an insult to the proud traditions of our state. It's as if Scott Fitzgerald has said that people like us don't matter anymore. And as disappointing as his actions have been, in a way, I have to thank Scott Fitzgerald for what he's done. His actions over the past year have been so divisive and so consistently heartless that there was simply no question, at least among people living here in his district, that he would be recalled. In the end, more than 1,000 Wisconsinites carried our petition, and 20,000 of Scott Fitzgerald's constituents signed it. And now we're entering the next phase of this endeavor. It's obviously early in the campaign. This is my first day as a candidate. And I know my platform will become more refined as I travel around the district and talk with constituents. But today, I can tell you with certainty, we visited with a lot of people during the petition drive, and we heard the same concerns again and again: jobs, healthcare, and a return to good government. And these are the issues I'll focus on today. If elected to Senate, I'll focus on job creation and true economic development, rather than wasteful corporate giveaways. Under Governor Walker's leadership and Scott Fitzgerald's acquiescence, we've seen Wisconsin lose jobs every single month since their budget was enacted last June. The Walker administration continues to throw money at this problem without looking for creative solutions where it can really make a difference here at the local level. Small and micro businesses have great potential for job creation, but business owners and entrepreneurs need help to make the leap from part-time side job to full-time business with employees. And a crucial step in helping small businesses make that leap is affordable access to health care. We found that health care is also a vital issue for farm families who are often shut out of the larger healthcare system unless they take jobs off the farm. We owe the people who produce our food access to an affordable healthcare system. And time again, we heard stories of working families suffering due to the severe cuts to Badger care that were enacted just before Christmas. If elected, I would make restoring Badger care a top priority. And over all this, we heard repeatedly that the people of our district would like to see a return to good government. I'd like to see an end to government waste, fraud, and abuse. I pledge to help foster a return to the cordial traditions of the state legislature, where all views are where all views are respected and all voices are heard. So again, these are the major concerns we heard about during the petition drive: jobs, healthcare, and good government. I'm eager to hear about other issues people are facing in our district, as well as their ideas for creative solutions. In an effort to accomplish that goal, I'm announcing a series of listening sessions, starting in Beaver Dam next Monday night, and running for the next 2 weeks. The full schedule is posted on the campaign website at loricompass.org. I'm just an ordinary person who started paying attention. I'm so excited about this opportunity, and I'm grateful that so many people have called on me to run. I'm learning every day, and I know I'll make mistakes. And I'm sure Scott Fitzgerald has an entire staff of TV commercial makers and direct mail specialists and newspaper ad writers who are working night and day to figure out the best way to attack me and cast doubt on our hard work. In fact, over the past few weeks, I've been almost paralyzed by fear. But I decided to run, and this is why. Because this campaign is not about me. It's about all of us. It's about our belief that people should matter more than money.
Oh, yes.
It's about our belief in open, honest government. It's about our belief that legislators should work hard and represent their constituents honorably. And while we will never raise as much money as Scott Fitzgerald has, this campaign has strengths that money can't buy. My strength to serve in the Senate comes from a willingness to listen and respond to the concerns of the hardworking people of Wisconsin. It comes from my ability to cooperate and find common ground. And it comes from the inspirational courage of 1,000 volunteers.